The Undertaker has been the most fascinating superstar that the WWE has had, and he is also one of the most well-respected guys that has ever been in the locker room for WWE. You will have to be crazy not to have Undertaker in your top 5 wrestlers of all time. The man has spent 3 decades trying to give as much as he can to the WWE, putting his body and his personal life on the line for the entertainment of the fans. A true class act. The WWE is truly lucky to have had the Undertaker participate in 6 different eras of the WWE. That being the New Age era, the Attitude era, the Ruthless Aggression era, the PG era, the Reality era, and the New era. He has had a long, lengthy, legendary career. Many different generations have grown up watching The Undertaker. With all the pain that The Undertaker has suffered in the ring, no one would have guessed that his career would last as long as it did. But his love for the craft kept him around a lot longer than expected. And because he extended his career longer than expected, it came with some unfortunate consequences, although some good did come from it as well. I am grateful that The Undertaker stayed as long as he did, because if not, I would not have got to see some of the most memorable moments of my life, such as the greatest match of all time, including himself and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25, the rematch at WrestleMania 26, the grueling match at WrestleMania 27 with him and Triple H, and the rematch at WrestleMania 28, and the match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 29 that I think was his last great performance, not just at WrestleMania, but in general. The following year at WrestleMania 30, the legendary streak would come to an end, and in that match, Undertaker suffered a serious concussion. And prior to the concussion, the match was absolutely horrible. The Undertaker looked like an absolute shell of his former self, and his age had finally caught up to him. He could no longer perform to the level that had made him special. And that wasn't even the worst part about the night. The streak ending wasn't even the worst part about the night. The worst part about the night was when The Undertaker came through the curtain backstage, he collapsed. He has suffered a concussion so severe that he had to be rushed to the hospital, and Vince McMahon went with him, leaving WrestleMania 30. At that point, The Undertaker was just too far past it to still be competing in the WWE at the high level. And for the next 5 years, The Undertaker would continue to not deliver at the high level until his eventual retirement match in 2020 versus AJ Styles during the virus. And it technically wasn't a real match, but boy was it so entertaining, and it was so talked about during the bubble. It was the most talked about thing during that WrestleMania. It was a special effects cinematic masterpiece, and Big Evil went out on the highest note possible during that time, and he was truly, finally satisfied with the ending of his career. But had I had it my way, I would have had The Undertaker retire 8 years earlier at WrestleMania 28. The perfect storybook ending to an illustrious career. The nuances in this match were so beautiful, and it all came full circle, circling around the tag, the end of an era. Everything made sense. Triple H and Undertaker have been part of the most Hell in a Cell matches, and Undertaker and Shawn Michaels have been part of the very first Hell in a Cell match in 1997. And the history between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania bled through this match as well. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels have put on an instant classic at WrestleMania 25 and the following year at WrestleMania 26, to which The Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels. And Triple H the following year challenged The Undertaker to try to get his revenge for his friend Shawn Michaels. And he absolutely pummeled The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27, and The Undertaker barely got away with the victory. And The Undertaker was not pleased about that at all, and he wanted his revenge against Triple H at WrestleMania 28. But Triple H kept denying him because he said he didn't want to end The Undertaker. So Taker kept poking the bear until he finally said something that triggered Triple H to accept the match.
You know, Hunter, I think I just figured it out. You know that you can't do what your buddy Shawn Michaels couldn't do. Because you know Shawn was always better than you.
And it was on. Triple H did not like that, and he was ready to end The Undertaker. He declared war in Hell in a Cell, In the month after that, Shawn Michaels would announce himself as the special guest referee for the contest, and even hinted at the fact that he may screw The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28, and The Undertaker wasted no time threatening Shawn Michaels about him officiating the contest fairly.
The streak will continue, and I will officially end an era. But if you don't do the right thing, I will officially end you.
And the stage was set. Remember earlier how I said everything about this match made sense? Well, there's one detail that I left out. This would not be the second time that Triple H would face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. They had faced off 11 years prior and their very first encounter at WrestleMania 17. So this would be the third time that Triple H was going for the streak. And on that night, their entrances were fantastic, and The Undertaker would reveal that he had cut all his hair off, and the reason wouldn't be revealed until the beginning of the match. But before the start of the match, the Hell in a Cell had an entrance of its own, which was so cool. As the cell was lowered down to the ring, both superstars would gaze up at it, and from that point on, it was war. And the reason why Undertaker's hair was cut was revealed.
WrestleMania. You know, I had just heard that The Undertaker started and continued cutting his hair off on a daily basis until Triple H accepted this match.
I'm getting chills just reliving this moment all over again. This match told such a powerful story. At the start of the match, Shawn Michaels showed much favoritism to Triple H, which The Undertaker did not like, and his frustrations were felt. Both guys would go back and forth for a while until it came to a point in the match where Triple H started to take over, and he would punish The Undertaker with repeated chair shots.
Again on the spine, not the legs, not the head, not the shoulders, but the spine.
Wait a minute, that's too much.
A vile, vicious.
And Shawn Michaels encouraged Triple H to just go for the pin. He didn't want anyone to suffer in this match, but Triple H knew what he had to do, and he continued. Shawn would eventually ask The Undertaker if he wanted him to call the match, to which The Undertaker said,
Don't stop it. Do not stop it.
and so the onslaught continued by Triple H, and he urged Shawn Michaels to end the match or he will.
End it, Shawn, or I will. End it, or I will.
And Shawn wouldn't listen, so Triple H went and got his trusty you-know-what, and he was looking to land the final blow on The Undertaker until Shawn stepped in and took the weapon from him. He would then go over to check on The Undertaker, and it was looking like he was going to call the match, but he was hesitant. So he checked on The Undertaker one more time, and The Undertaker slapped on the Hell's Gate on Shawn Michaels. And Triple H would come to his rescue, and he as well eventually would get caught up in the Hell's Gate and end up incapacitated. Some time had passed and both guys had risen to their feet, and The Undertaker was looking to go for the tombstone until... And Shawn Michaels' face told the entire story. The Undertaker was not losing that night. That was the only chance for them to beat the streak, and he had just screwed up big time. And when The Undertaker got up, he got up like a man possessed, and he was pissed. He began beating the hell out of Triple H and hit him with the tombstone pile driver. And soon enough, they were back at it again, going back and forth, until The Undertaker tried to hit him with another tombstone, and Triple H would counter.
Look at this, look at this! Pedigree! Yes! Another pedigree! Michaels could have done the cover, the throw, and he kicked out! Gonna get 3!
When The Undertaker finally rose to his feet, he rose to his feet with the steel chair in hand, and he walked over to Triple H, who at the same time was grabbing his trusty you-know-what. And The Undertaker, with an evil smirk, stepped on the you-know-what and proceeded to beat the hell out of Triple H with the steel chair for several minutes. And as Triple H began to struggle to his feet with the last bit of strength and energy he had left, He tried to strike The Undertaker once more, to no avail. The Undertaker had outlasted him, and it was only a matter of time. So as a last act of disrespect, Triple H flipped The Undertaker off and was hit with the hellacious shot that knocked him down. And all Shawn Michaels could do was look away, because he knew that his friend would suffer the same fate that he had twice before. And that he did.
The sign! Oh, a disaster! An abhorrent! Shawn gonna count. The tombstone, the count, and the 3!
The Undertaker went out and made a statement that he demands perfection from himself on the grandest stage of them all. The Undertaker had become a perfect 20-0, an even number. This was the perfect moment for The Undertaker to call it a career. He was a 47-year-old man whose body was breaking down rapidly, and he only had one more great match left in him, as we can see in retrospect. That was CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. This picture right here should remind us of the retirement of The Undertaker. Him sharing the limelight with two guys that he has had so much history with in the WWE. But either way, I am happy that The Undertaker did it his way, and he never felt like it was enough. He always wanted to give back to the WWE, no matter the cost, no matter if his body was aching, no matter what. He wanted to give back to the WWE as much as he could. But in my mind, this will always be The Undertaker's real retirement match.